Hello, fellow Double Fruit users. This is going to be a response video to Khrono M, a good buddy of mine, and his video is what I'm going to be responding to, of course, and it will be how I got into the big three. Now, for those of you who don't know, let's see how you wouldn't. The big three, of course, would be Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, which are currently the three biggest, most popular ongoing manga. Hence why, of course, the Great Dragon Ball Z would not be on this list. Now, let's go ahead and talk about how I got into them. Now, I had started getting into anime when I started watching Adult Swim. I know, this is nothing new for people. And it started off with me just first witnessing what they were, and that was the likes of Fullmetal Alchemist and Inuyasha. It was my first experience with the style, and I kind of liked it. I was still in the cartoons and mostly with video games. And then I decided to start watching Naruto. Now, I had first just seen random episodes throughout Toonami, and then basically in order to catch myself up, I actually ended up purchasing the first 10 actually, manga volumes, and I was fucking hooked from day one. I started catching up with the anime. I watched the Chunin exams. Gaara versus Rock Lee fight was amazing. And at the time, I was just obsessed. It was just Naruto, 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 Naruto. And then one of these days, the day, I don't remember exactly what day of whatever year, but the very first dub edition of Bleach, the first episode came out. When I first saw it, I liked it, but it's funny because I completely forgot all about it. After that, I loved it the day I saw it, but then I just sort of didn't think anything else of it. And then next week comes by and it's Saturday again and it's Adult Swim, and then Bleach comes on. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, it was that fucking show with the Soul Reapers. And now I kind of hate myself for calling them Soul Reapers. I used to be like, stop saying Shinigami, it's Soul Reapers, like a little 14-year-old. But then as I started reading the manga, I started getting used to Shinigami. Now I don't see how I started saying Soul Reapers. Anyway, I had gotten into Bleach that way, and for the longest time it was Naruto and it was Bleach. Just the two of them together, and I would just watch them constantly. I would watch Soul Society over and over. At the time, I had finished part 1 of Naruto, and I hadn't finished the Roncar arc of Bleach. I had just sort of stopped right there. And because they weren't really playing them at the time on Toonami, they ended up stopping them for Death Note, which I ended up getting hooked onto as well, of course. So basically, it was just the two of them. Now, One Piece, it simply worked like this. It had been showing on Toonami. I don't remember if it was the 4Kids dub or the Funimation dub. I'm pretty sure it was the Funimation dub, but I had sampled the 4Kids dub and I didn't like it. I couldn't dig One Piece in general because, honestly, it was characters like Luffy's stretching ability and just Chopper in general that gave off the impression that One Piece was sort of childish. So eventually I did start reading it, and I read the manga. Now, for those of you who don't know, I prefer anime over manga. I get more detail and more attention into it. We've got the art, not the artwork, I'm sorry, the animation, the color, the voice acting. I just like it more. I like seeing movement more with anime. It's like a million times better to me. And the pacing's a lot slower, but that's another story for another time. Now, with One Piece, basically, I read the manga and I started from the beginning. I finished East Blue. I liked it. I finished Alabasta. I liked it. I finished the Jaya arc of Skypiea, and I just got sort of like, and I sort of dropped it. Now, I know a lot of people are like, what, Skypiea is not one of the best, but it's still pretty good. You gotta understand, for those of you who keep up with One Piece, you know that just about every saga is pretty fucking epic, but it starts off slow most of the time. The only saga I thought started off fucking incredible was Water 7 and Fisherman Island, honestly, because of the return. Every other saga, Pirate Alliance saga, Alabasta, they all started off slow as shit, kind of like, come on, let's let the plot get in, and then it would just build up, and then by the time it was a quarter of the way in, you were fucking hooked for the remainder of the saga. Now, I had dropped, before I had, when I started reading the manga, I actually got to the Drum Island arc, and that's when I dropped it, my apologies, and I dropped it for about a year, and then I said, I should go back into it because I kind of liked it, and that's when I went through the Jaya arc, and then I dropped it. Let me reiterate that. So I kept up with Naruto and Bleach, and I was just like, I don't see the hype with One Piece. I mean, I can't even see why people would put it even on par with Naruto and Bleach, let alone above it. So basically, I decided to give it a chance. It was on Hulu Plus, and I have Hulu Plus on my Wii, which is in my room. For a lot of people who wonder why I tend to watch the anime over the manga, it's because the Wii is camped out in my room. I can lay in my bed eating chips all fucking day like a fat fuck and watch anime to my heart's content. Can't do that with manga on the Wii. It's so slow it'll barely let you use it. I can read manga here, of course, but I mean I only get so much time on the internet as it is. So basically, I started watching the anime from Skypiea, and by the end of Skypiea, I was just like, oh my god, why did I drop this series? And then I watched Water 7 and my mind was blown. Probably one of my favorite shonen arcs in history. I watched Whitebeard War Saga and I was just fucking hooked. I could not wait to see the time skip. Now, the reason why I bothered to start it from Skypiea and resume to begin with is probably what you're wondering. It simply worked like this. I would watch Naruto and Bleach reviews by, of course, King of Lightning, Ramyaku Jotun, for Neverworld at the time. I was just getting into the reviews, so I kind of didn't have a lot of selection, so to speak. Or I wasn't as selective, I meant to say. I don't really dig for Neverworld's videos that much anymore, but at the time, that's what I was into. And basically on their newsfeed, it would be, you know, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. And I got tired of seeing the One Piece thumbnails with these characters I have no idea about, and people shitting bricks about how good of a writer Oda was. And I mean, of course, Solar 7 Mage doesn't review Bleach, but it would be Naruto and One Piece. And I got tired of seeing on my newsfeed every Wednesday, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, One Piece. One Piece was on every other fucking video on my feed. I mean, I have a tendency to unsubscribe from people whose videos I don't really watch. So I was getting irritated, and I was just like, fuck. I'm tired of going every week seeing these One Piece thumbnails and having no idea what people are shitting bricks about, so I guess I'm just going to catch up to the series. The greatest thing I ever did in my fucking life, that's what happened. It's now my favorite manga of all time, and I don't regret it. So I, of course, watched the time skip with Fisherman Island and then caught up with the manga only a few months ago, and that's basically how I got into the big three. Now, of course, my favorites of them would be One Piece on the top, Naruto in the middle, and then One Piece third. Now, I'm sorry, One Piece, Bleach third. So, basically what happened was Naruto was my favorite for a while when I first got into it, and then I got into Bleach, and then by the time they even got to Soul Society, I liked it more than Naruto. And when Soul Society hit, I was just like, yeah, Bleach fucking owns Naruto. But then Naruto started getting better with the Pain arc and even the War arc that's going on now. It's been dropping since Obito was revealed. I don't personally hate Obito's reveal that much. I kind of like it in the fact that I was right. But yeah, I mean, I liked the modern Naruto, and Bleach was doing its Fullbring arc. And after that anticlimactic Aizen battle, I was just kind of like, Bleach is still good, but it drops into Naruto. Now, Naruto right now is slacking. We all know it. Bleach right now is at the top of its game, practically, since Soul Society days. So will Bleach top Naruto in the end? We'll have to see. Both manga are ending soon. Naruto's in its last 15 minutes, while Bleach is in its last 9 days. I wonder which one will be done first. I would laugh so hard if Bleach finished first, but yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, and then when I got into One Piece, it wasn't even in my top 10, and then by the time I had finished Water 7, it was like my 4th favorite. Death Note was still above it to me personally, even though it was shorter. And then once I had finished Fisherman Island, and caught up with the manga, that's when I decided to put it as my favorite. So why did I wait until just then? It wasn't because I liked those sagas more, it was because I had a better understanding of the series as a whole. That's just really the way it was. And then witnessing the later arcs made me appreciate the previous arcs. Like, I loved Water 7, but once I finished Fisherman Island and saw the development of the Straw Hats, I was just sort of like, wow, they came to that from this. An arc or a saga of a series is always more interesting when you look back on it after watching previous stuff as opposed to when you initially watch it. At least that's for me. So that's basically how I got into the big three. Will I ever drop them? No, they're probably always going to be my top 3 favorite. A lot of people don't like the big 3. A lot of people do like the big 3, but wouldn't put it as their 3 favorites. Maybe it's stereotypical of me to like the big 3 as my big 3, but hey, that's just me. So this is my response to Khrono's video. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.